scenario would turn into Rise Radio, radio inspiring singers everywhere. And not too long after that, Rise Awakenings would come onto the scene to bring you shows of inspiration, spiritual uplift, and heightened awareness. And together they formed the Rise Radio Networks. And just like the phoenix rising from the ashes, we have a new home on the web called Embers of Light. Come and check it out.
Ash on our clothes, we walked out of hunger, we found a ghost, high in the bright sky, feather and bone, the eagle went forward. Step by broken step, we found how strong we are. Arm on a shoulder, voices rough but clear. Guided by the eagle, we carried each other here. Old scars were speaking, names we once cursed. As one. Oh, the fire in our circle looks like the sun. Oh, we know each heartbeat, we know each face. The road made us a people. Became our place. Guided by the eagle, home from Red River Rock.
It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talk, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talk with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talk, so tune in if you can.
Becomes a problem in two, avoiding conversation, thinking they're through, avoiding dynamics not saying a word, carrying the weight of what isn't heard. Losing hope, don't know how to cope. Thoughts at play, do we walk away? But the heart cries. Are we really that broken? Are we that unfixable? Can we get back? Doesn't feel stable. Neither wants to bend the ties we can mend. It doesn't have to end. How do we fix it? Actions and words reveal hidden parts, uncovering the past, exposing unhealed hearts. Roadblocks go up, barriers are built, wanting repair, riddled with guilt. Was it me? The heart wants to know. Was it them, or do they have to go? Are we really that broken? Are we that unfixable? Can we get back? Doesn't feel stable. Neither wants to bend the ties we can mend. It doesn't have to end. How do we fix it? Nervous in the heart, words begin to fly. What can we do better? Should we even try? We can get through this, work this thing through, but we have to talk to repair me and you, and we'll see.
We really aren't that broken.
No, we're not.
We are fixable.
We always were.
We can get back
If we want,
we can.
get stable.
If we try,
Both can bend,
meet in the middle.
ties can mend.
Give it time.
This doesn't have to end.
No, it doesn't.
We can fix it.
So we slow it down.
Speak it out.
Brighten up the dark.
No more guessing. If we
Stay right here.
face what we fear, that's where healing starts. We don't
Have to know it all tonight.
just listen and take it one step at a time.
Welcome, everyone, to Phoenix Talks.
That was amazing.
Thank you. That was How Can We Fix It? And that is our topic for tonight. She almost forgot her twinkles.
I did. I'm like, something's off with my background. What is
It was literally off.
it? Good news is I was able to fix it.
See, there we go. And sometimes it's that easy. Click.
But when it comes to relationships, it's not. And that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we are. And a quick shout out to everybody in the live chat. Thank you so much for watching live. And anybody in the replay, thank you so much. Oh my God, the numbers. We just can't get over how many people are downloading all of the shows on Rise Awakenings.
It's amazing.
And thank you so much. We're going to throw a little teaser at the end for how you can support us going forward if you are so interested. And if it's your first time tuning in to Phoenix Talks, it's a very organic show. She or I come up with a topic. And lately, since we switched over to Rise Awakenings full time, I create a song and sometimes a video, sometimes just a lyric video. and then we forget about it. We don't have any conversations. We have no agendas. We have no idea what the other person is about to talk about, where they're going to take it. It's completely unscripted, unrehearsed, unprepared, and organic.
Yes. And it's easy. It's easy because we're both life coaches or self-mastery coaches or transformational, whatever terminology we're using today. We're both coaches. We both help people. So whatever comes out of us naturally and organically is really truly from the heart.
It is. No bullshit.
No bullshit. Oh, I said a bad word. I get to put in another $1.
I was wondering if you were going to fall for that trap. You don't have to put in for that one because
Oh,
I literally set that trap for you.
I totally fell for it.
So this is your topic. I just wrote the song.
So, okay, here's what I think I want to lay out for folks, because sometimes in different relationship dynamics, you're like, well, where do I even start with this? So I want to walk through what we even start with. And to me, in determining whether or not something is fixable, we have to start with the reality of the situation. And we're going to bring up topics that we've been speaking on in recent weeks. Because this is a natural progression to a series of topics that we've been discussing that are truly in alignment, whether on this show or on a different show, on Your Vision, on Bloom, on Lunaria. Different things are coming up. And so for me, where you have to start is with the reality. Who are you dealing with? Where are they at? Do they have the capacity? So I think the first thing is discernment if this is an individual that is even open to holding themselves accountable, to having a mature conversation where there's not going to be any abuse involved or toxicity involved, where you can both maintain a certain level of respect for one another in this communication. So there has to be that discernment first.
Yeah.
That's a big, let me be honest with myself and do a massive reality check. And when I reflect, let me reflect on all the instances in which they tried to hold accountability. When did they apologize for something? What did that apology sound like? When did I bring up something sensitive for me? And what did they respond to me like in those times that I brought something up? So you're having a discord because there might be a pattern of that. There might be a pattern of arguing. Mm-hmm. So the approach to the conversation is going to have to be very, very different. But first, you got to be honest and decide if that you can even have a conversation. And when we get to that conversation, it needs to start something like, hey, something's off balance here, and I don't know that we're on the same page. Can we just check in with each other and see where we're each at individually in our thought process and add context for each other so that we have some more clarity in the circumstances? Like, if anyone got offended by what I just said, check yourself. Because I think that this is what they teach. You know, I'm saying I think, but I know this is what's taught in healthy communication. I'm saying I think to make it softer, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm calling myself out on that. This is
and that's part of it.
Yes.
Not only are you looking at the accountability that other people held when it comes to you, are you holding yourself accountable for your part in it? Because regardless of the dynamic, okay, that's a little too overgeneralized. You know the sensitive topics we don't need to go into in regards to that side. But in general, it takes two to have a misunderstanding. It doesn't just take one. It takes one to deliver, because they might have a misunderstanding in their head based on an action that you did. And when they are confronting you about it, then they're in a misunderstanding and you're not understanding where they're coming at because you're not listening to it. But it takes two. It takes two to break it. It takes two to fix it. One cannot fix it.
Nope.
And if one is holding themselves accountable or holding the other accountable, and there is not accountability going back and forth for anything, even things that are going right, what's the accountability for that? What have you done right in the relationship? Don't hold that over their head, because then you're going 2 episodes back with how much I've done for you. And you fall into that, or they've fallen into that with you. This is going to be a fun freaking ping pong match all night long. I can feel it.
So on the self-accountability note, it is going to be fun. On the self-accountability note, remember, your feelings are your messages that your body and your heart and your mind are trying to give you. So like, if you feel resentment and anger and frustration pop up for you, okay, what boundaries were crossed? What perceived expectation or discussed expectations were violated? What is missing from that interaction that you were expecting?
Yeah.
And that triggered that response from you. Go within first. Always work out your own shit first, please. And I'm going to say
that one I didn't set up. She did that on her own.
Always always work through your own shit first, because
Yes.
in working through your own shit, you may just on your own come to a certain level of understanding, because you're analyzing what's happening. And I'm not talking about repeating scenarios in your head. That's not productive. I'm talking about productively analyzing the data based on what you're revisiting in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But check yourself first and ask yourself all these questions. I brought up some information to someone's attention and asked questions. And one of those questions was, am I X, Y, and Z? And their response was like, no. But I asked myself that question. For 2 days, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, in what ways did I feel like I was doing that? Because if I ask that question, then obviously there's a part of me that feels it. So here I am. I'm like, I have all my answers now. I'm not even mad anymore. Work through your shit.
Now I know that you weren't directly doing this, but I want you guys to think about what her body language was just doing when she was talking. And there were a couple times I have no idea what she was looking at. But how many times when you are talking to somebody else about certain problems that you're having with somebody, are you looking around to see if anybody who shouldn't be listening are? Now, she probably wasn't doing that. It could have just been something that was out. Oh, okay. Could have just been an ADHD moment.
That one.
But I want you guys to realize that a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And if you are feeling that way, where you are having to been there, where you have to sneak around to talk about somebody, and then you're whispering to a friend while they're right in the same room. Yeah, they hear you, by the way.
If you got a whisper, then what are you afraid of? What are you saying that you feel might be hurtful?
Right.
I don't whisper anymore. I just speak the truth. My truth is always respectful and kind. If the other person gets offended, it's because it's true and it's bothering them and they haven't addressed that within themselves yet. That's not a me problem. That's a them problem. So I don't care who hears me or doesn't hear me.
That part. But I did. It was a perfect example.
It was perfect. It was. Well, I'm neurospicy. So, okay, let's talk about that, because what expectations do we have of the other person? Are we being honest about the reality of how they present themselves? I'm neurospicy. If I have to make contact with you, I'm going to miss half of what you say. Please don't expect me to maintain eye contact. I will sometimes when I know I have the capacity and I'm tuning in a little bit differently. But most of the times I'm actively listening without looking. I'm looking all over the place because that's what helps me focus. And here, I never look at the camera. This is me looking at the camera, and it feels so unnatural. So I mostly look at Micah when I'm talking, or the chat.
That part.
But you have to know who your audience is. My point in saying all of this, because if you don't know or you're not being honest with yourself about your audience, you're going to project these expectations that they can't meet, and it's going to continue the issue. So first, be realistic about your communication style and their communication style, and see if you can kind of speak their language a little bit in order to bring them into, or be a bridge in some way to an understanding, if they have the capacity.
Yep. When I am talking to somebody, if I look in their eyes, I can get thrown off too. I focus here. That way I don't see directly into their soul and get lost. I'm just saying.
Do what works for you, but know your audience.
Right?
So how do you know somebody has the capacity to receive you? That's where the self-discernment of the reflection comes in. This is why you need to work through your own shit, because sometimes you can be telling yourself a story, but they've proven otherwise to you in their actions, and you might be glazing right over that because you're triggered for whatever the issue is that you're triggered for. So be hyper realistic with regards to exactly their patterns and how they've shown up. Yes.
Have they shown up?
Right.
Did they show up and you missed it?
Are you showing up?
Exactly. Are you showing up? Are they showing up? Are you guys having what my parents would lovingly call hall sex? Where you pass each other by and throw F-bombs on your way out?
Right.
That's what I mean.
Right.
You dirty-minded people, I saw you. You went right there. No, it's not that kind of. But it gets to a point sometimes with a person that you're with. And one thing that Diane wanted, and this is one reason why you saw so many different kinds of clips. I wanted best friends in there. I wanted friends. I wanted parents.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted lovers on both sides of the spectrum. I tried to find arguments with bosses, but Clipchamp just didn't have anything like that, because apparently it's completely wrong to have an argument or disagreement with your boss. Anyway.
They're not trying to encourage that, even though it happens all the time, everywhere.
The most G-rated clips ever created, not by Disney. But anyway, I digress. But it's true. Are you just passing by somebody in your life and not really paying attention to them? Are you not connecting with them? Is there something with your connection to them that is broken? And who is at fault? Yes. Let's just lay it on the table right now as it is. Yes. It is you and them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what causes the disconnect. You might have said something that triggered them. So there's your accountability. Did you mean to? Not always. Did they mean to? Not always. Did you misunderstand what they were saying? Possibly. Did they misunderstand what you were saying? It's both ways. It takes two.
It does. Now, with that, I'm going to also add the disclaimer. It's different in an abusive dynamic. So if you're in an abusive dynamic, this does not apply. This is just for everyday average relationships. Okay, like you were saying.
You said that so strongly, it kicked me out and made me come back.
We're not talking about an abusive dynamic.
No.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
We're going to talk about repair and making sure that whole discernment in the beginning to see if they have the capacity to repair. So if we're going to talk about repair, we're not talking about repairing with someone abusive. That's a figure out your exit strategy.
Yeah. You keep chatting. I need to refresh as a whole. I'll be right back.
Oh, that's totally fine. So Oh, I get them all to myself. I get you all to myself. Oh my goodness. But in the repair process, we have to shift how we approach the person. And it starts with how we show up. And we're going to show up differently every time. The way we approach the person each time we try to bring up a conversation that's challenging and difficult, or maybe address a circumstance and situation, is an opportunity to practice implementing new thought patterns and behaviors. It is not going to go smoothly the first time because there's triggers, the body, the nervous system. It's going to affect what words come out. It'll be better than you used to be, but it won't be perfect. So it'll just keep moving forward if you're with someone who is open to repair and receiving your different showing up. Because you also have to watch the process as you're going through it. It's not a one conversation and done kind of a thing in a lot of dynamics. Because if we're having this conversation, that means something's really broken and off.
Yep.
And that's sometimes could take years, like a parent-child relationship. I'm still trying to figure out how to repair my relationship with my kids. You know what I mean? So there's that dynamic. But you need to first make sure that you're showing up very differently each and every single time. You're not trying to prove yourself. You're not trying to prove your point. You're just showing up differently, sticking to the facts, asking clarification and context questions, get rid of assumptions, because I think that's where a lot of us fall into traps. We have these expectations based on our assumptions of the other individual, completely pushing aside whatever conversations might have been had at a different time earlier in that dynamic, right? They might have told us the truth. We might have decided we don't like it. We're going to project something else out onto them.
Yep.
All of
Let's go here.
Ooh, okay.
What is frustrating is when it has been over a year and you try to apologize for your part and they refuse to see how you've grown and what you are doing for what it is and just sticks to the same as it was originally. That part. A lot of people battle that part because they see, and because anybody who knows me knows that my personality, my behavior, my mood can shift on a dime. Steph and I actually talked about this today. And not everybody can align with that. Not everybody can handle it. Not everybody can accept it. But it will shift and it will change. But if somebody only sees a past version, then it's probably something that's unfixable. Because it has to be a two-way street. It has to be that give and take, that reciprocity has to be there of understanding. Look at mine and Carrie's relationship. We have known each other for 8-9 years now, and it's not been the easiest friendship. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, but we both recognize each other for who we are. And that we're going to mess up, we're going to say things that are going to be out of character to the other, and then we're going to talk about it afterwards. That's how you fix it. Going into a relationship dynamic, friends, best friends, family, lovers, with both people being willing to have communication. Open communication, authentic, honest, compassionate. You're going to get angry. You're going to get pissed off. Anybody who tells me that they haven't fought with their loved one ever, I look at them in disbelief like they have 4 heads.
So one of the biggest mistakes that we make also is sweeping things under the rug. If it surfaces for your awareness, there's a reason why it's surfacing. It means it's unresolved within you. Stop sweeping things under the rug and be okay with having a challenging conversation in a calm and pleasant time or moment or whatever. Hey, there's something that's been on my heart that I want to share with you and express. Do you have the capacity to hold space for that in this moment? Asking permission is a beautiful bridge and entryway into a challenging discussion, because you're not like bullet dumping on the person without them being prepared for it. It's giving them a choice if they're ready for a conversation that now you've given them a warning that might be uncomfortable.
You know, if the kitchen sink is leaking, tighten the pipe, because you don't want to try and fix it once that leak becomes more and you have water spewing all over the floor. How hard is it to clean it up then?
Mm-hmm.
How expensive is it to clean it up then? What does it cost? I'm one of those that most of my life I was afraid to tell people how I felt. I won't disclose again the reason why. But it's one of those, it only took once to hear something. And it sunk in so deep that I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to express to them. So I would hold it and hold it and hold it, Coca-Cola bottle shaken, until it exploded. And then I would do what I would call kitchen sinking a person. And everything that I had ever been upset about with them up to that point that I hadn't already talked about with them would come out. Do you think that fixed it? No. It widened the gap.
That's like the volcanic eruption. It builds and builds and builds and builds. That is the worst thing we do to ourselves. Let me repeat that. That is the worst thing we do to ourselves. It's not even about the other person who ends up being, the ocean that you dump it in.
And yes, I have to take a second. Yes, Polyjamorous, I see you. We all have foreheads, and mine is quite large these days. And yes, Nami, I saw you earlier. Hi, Kiara. I hope I pronounced that right. That's why I didn't say anything. Hi, I saw. So I apologize. I'm not ignoring the chat, but you guys are trying to throw me off on purpose. How well can Brindle multitask?
Listen, I'm not great with doing the whole chat thing.
Yes, I love you, Bubble Minty Gum. Yes, I do. I have the Bubble Twins over in the chat right now.
I love that. That is so fun.
I know, I ignored that.
So when you've decided that someone may be worthy of repairing with because they might have the capacity for it, when you show up differently and ask different questions, and working on yourself means getting rid of your judgments, your expectations, your assumptions, and allowing yourself to get into a space of learning and understanding, not just of yourself, but of the other person. Because if you don't try to understand the other person because you're trying to make your point, there's not going to be any resolve. So you have to be okay with yourself enough and so firm in what your perspective is that you can hold space for them to communicate their clarification and context. And if they won't do that, if they won't give you that, and you tell them, I'm only asking for context so that I can better understand. And their response is, well, I already discussed that with you. We're not going to repeat the same thing. They don't have the capacity. Stop there. They don't.
Right.
It may be fine for the first couple of minutes, but then when something gets to the point where they can't handle it, then they don't have the capacity. They may not be doing the self-reflective work that you're doing in order to bring you to the space that you're at. A belief in one becomes a problem in two. Yeah.
Opening of the song. Is your
Mhm.
belief or their belief causing a
Right.
problem?
Right. Right. And in most relationship dynamics, doesn't matter what the dynamic is, it's always us wanting to feel heard and understood and validated. So we're constantly seeking to prove our point and to be right and to have them understand us. That has to get thrown in the trash. It's your job to understand yourself and your job to validate and know all that stuff for yourself so that you can be firm in your perspective and you can open yourself up to hearing someone else's point of view and open yourself up to actually learning someone else's stance. Okay. You're not going to feel like a safe space to communicate to if your approach is competitive. Whose story is going to be right and wrong? You're in competition with each other.
Right.
Going to win.
Let's check out polyamorous real quick, and it's a two-parter. I have experiences. I've experienced very strange things, such as temporal dilations, that change the way I perceive communication at times. It is hard to explain other than a forward echo. I have learned to cope by first being aware when it's happening, then practicing the tools I've taught myself in order to manage it. Basically, I stop, breathe, and count before responding. I stop, breathe, and count before responding. I stop, breathe, and count before responding.
Yep. There's that hit the pause button, get back into your heart centered space, and think before you respond. I have auditory processing issues too. So I'm constantly saying, say that one more time. I'm sorry, what was that? You know, I try not to say huh, although huh comes out sometimes. But
I
sometimes
used to get scolded for that.
but I need
Huh?
sometimes I need people to repeat themselves for me
Right.
because it didn't process in my brain. And what I heard is not what you said. So don't be afraid to ask for someone to repeat themselves politely. And if they respond to you with impatience and frustration, they ain't got the capacity. Not for you.
So don't be them. You want to fix it if it's a relationship that you want to fix, but they're tired of repeating themselves, or you're tired of repeating yourself. If you know that they have auditory issues and you have to repeat yourself, don't get frustrated. Because if you know, that means that you already have an established communication line. And if you don't, time to set one. And if setting one doesn't help fix the problem, well, another conversation might need to be had on repeat. I'm just saying. Huh?
And each time you have that conversation, you show up differently. Resolve sometimes and repair sometimes take a long time. It's not always quick because if it's that hurtful and that painful, there's love there, there's pain there,
Right.
and that is going to take one step at a time, as the song stated.
Right. Let's take another look. How do you deal with family that disowns you, then decides to bring you back in just to talk behind your back and then makes up with you and rinse and repeat?
That's going to stay broken.
Yeah, that's not fixable.
No, they don't. It's going to take both parties to be open, accountable, and from that heart-centered space of learning not just about themselves, but about the other person in order for that to be repaired. I'm sorry,
Me too.
because it's family. And I know, I love my parents where they're at, but I can't,
I
it's
mean,
not
Steph,
okay.
I know you, so just Bonnie rate their ass and really give them something to talk about. I'm just saying. And I've mentioned this before. One of my besties, may she rest, never fixed her relationship with her family. Wanted to, deeply. But at the same time, even though she knew that it was toxic and knew that it was just shortening her life, by holding on to these empty promises, to them, to just, well, she's my mother. I can't let her go. Of course you can. But at the same time, because of her own living situation and because she was alone, she needed something to hold on to. Sound familiar? And even though it's broken, I'm going to fix it just enough in my mind. Oh, here's another branch that we can go down. I'm going to fix it just enough in my mind, and I'm going to tell myself the right stories so that I can stick around and not have to deal with the discomfort of disconnection.
So here's how you help yourself with that. Speak your truth without expecting them to accept, receive, or believe what you're saying to them. Your only job is to be true to yourself and speak your truth. Your only job is you're responsible for your own nervous system and your own heart and your own mental clarity. You are not responsible to convince them to see your side of things, to feel what you're feeling. They're not going to. So what's helpful is just speaking your truth, matter of factly, like you're talking about the weather, and also setting up those hard boundaries. I took to repeating continuously each time that it came up with the same tone, the same attitude, the same calmness. That's not my belief. That's what you guys practice, but that doesn't align with my belief. So you guys can do whatever you need to do for you, but that's just not where I'm at. So they're going to keep insisting, right, Bubblekins? They're going to keep insisting. That's why they talk shit about you, because you're not on their team anymore. You're not their minion anymore, right? So they're going to talk smack about you because they can't wrap their head around where you're at. They're not on the journey that you're on. But on your journey, as long as you maintain authenticity and don't betray yourself by being agreeable, sacrificing minimizing yourself and sacrificing your own belief system just to appease them, as long as you speak your truth calmly, matter of factly, like you're talking about the weather, like, no, the sky's blue today. But, if you want to feel like it's gray, go ahead. Yeah.
Stopping being on their side. It's, excuse me, confirmation burp. Because now here's the hard part. You have an option. You specific, you general. You can love whoever for who they are and stay. But if you love them for who they are and you get upset, it's not on them anymore. That's the hard part. That's what people don't really want to think about. I am choosing because I don't want this to be disconnected. I love this person too much. I don't want to see this end. I don't want to see this over. I want this relationship, regardless of dynamic, to continue on. So I'm going to accept them for who they are. But now I'm really upset at the very thing that I told myself that I needed to accept in order for me to stay. So is it their fault or yours at this point for how you feel? That's a tough question that people don't want to be asked.
Well, the stories that we tell ourselves about the circumstances and the people that we're trying to connect with, because ultimately we want to connect. We want the connection to be there because they matter. For whatever reason, they matter. So in trying to maintain that connection, we try to force things. So we tell ourselves these stories, like you were saying before. And in telling ourselves these stories, we're diminishing our needs. We're dismissing ourselves. And we're allowing ourselves to justify tolerating things that are betraying us. And that's not necessary. It's not, because the understanding of navigating through these conflicts and these broken dynamics is to decide if this is something that's aligned with you and resonates with you, or if you need to move forward in your own life with them at a different space in your journey. And I'm doing this because, I like the inner circle, the next. You can stick them in whatever circle you want or get rid of them out of your hemisphere completely.
Right.
That's a decision, though.
Right.
So we get caught up in the whole, but I want to feel worthy. I want them to accept me for me. Again, they may not have the capacity, so we have to work through those parts of ourself that require their approval.
And how many people stick around in this unfixable situation for extended years, thinking, and it becoming a life mission to prove yourself and that you are worth being forgiven, you are worth being understood, you are worth all of these things. How many?
And the flip side of that is you're carrying resentment and frustration towards them. You're carrying hurt and grief towards them. You're poisoning yourself because you're thirsty for that validation from them. That's not healthy for you.
Nope. Got a question from Karen. This one's a tough one. How do I ease or fix the parts that are broken in someone who doesn't feel I'm accountable, yet I caused it? Meaning it's known it wasn't intentional, yet he suffers from it. She gave him my book and told him he's worthy. She once hurt herself, and that hurt him, while I did to protect, which is in the past, yet he's having a hard time. How do I fix it?
You can't force someone to be on the same page as you when they haven't had your life experiences and journey. You have to let them be where they're at. You can share your perspective and share information. They're on their own journey, though. They have to choose to do that kind of inner work and deep shadow work that you're doing. So you really can't fix anyone. Neither can Michka and I. We can share information and share our knowledge and point you to resources and tell you all these wonderful things. But it really is up to each individual on their journey to make the decisions to do the work that you guys are all doing. And you're all at different levels and capacities on your own journeys. None of us are in the same space, not even Michka and I.
Nope.
We all have our own things to work through. You cannot fix someone. And when they're blaming you, like when they're carrying resentment towards you, even though you took accountability and you've done the work to repair it, they're stuck in resentment. They're not doing any inner work. They're projecting their pain back onto you, regardless, and they're not being open to repair. They're not being open to a deeper connection, because they would have to be open to a deeper connection and take accountability in order to give you the compassion that you deserve. Because right now they're not coming from a compassionate place. They're coming from that, competitive, I'm right and I'm so mad at you and I'm going to hold a grudge, kind of thing. That's what it sounds like. It's holding a grudge. That's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for them, but that's a them problem. So when I've dealt with people who were incessant and berating me when it came to like me taking accountability, I said, this is what I did. Stop. I took accountability. I offered a solution to repair, and I gave you the validation that you are correct in X, Y, and Z. Whatever this is, I don't accept it. This is completely unnecessary, and this is actually rude and disrespectful. I'm not accepting it. And I set the boundary. I was lucky they listened. I'm no longer friends with that person because there were other issues that continued to come up. So they're not even in my life anymore. I eventually came to a point where this is not repairable.
Now, one thing with the Karen, I do understand the question and the line of thought that's going on here. One thing, this isn't a relationship fix that you're asking about. This is, how do I ease, comfort his pain?
You can't.
You can't. You can't fix his pain. You cannot fix his wounds. You have established through choice, reflection, understanding, to let those wounds become scars. He's not there yet, and all you can do is be there for him. And on a side note, going back to the first quip, that if he doesn't hold you accountable, but you do, that's not a him problem.
So let's talk about children for a second, because me personally, I put children in a completely different category, because the way my mindset is around repairing with children is I love them unconditionally. They came from me. Or if you're, in different circumstances, they're part of your soul and your heart. There's a different dynamic when it comes to your child. So therefore, my attitude is I'm in it for the long game. We're both growing and evolving as people. My main goal with children is to just keep showing up a better human being, keep showing up better than I was before, to the best of my personal capacity. And if I don't have the capacity, to communicate that I don't have the capacity, and that I'm sorry that, this is what you need and I don't have the capacity. And that I cannot be that for you. And saying that to your kid is like, it feels horrible. But the reality is still the reality. They're part of the reason why they're traumatized is our fault, right? Us and their other parent, okay? Or whatever the dynamics were around there. We don't know what they lived through. We didn't live their life. There are so many things our children won't tell us.
Oh, no.
So we really don't know what they've been through outside of what we know and are aware of. That being said, they really have to have their own journey. The best gift that you can do and the best thing that you can do, number one, show your self-compassion and forgive yourself. And number two, continue to show up differently for that child. Continue to show up a better human being with no expectations, no need for gratitude or accolades or attention or anything like that. I've been on a journey a long time now with my kids. I'm in a good place with one of them. The other one, we got a long way to go. However, that being said, we went from there's no communication whatsoever, I got cut off, to slowly, casually getting to know each other again in a very slow manner, but with tons of boundaries from them. And now we're at a space and place where I'm glad you're doing that for yourself, Mom. I know you've been through it, and you're doing a good job.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we're repaired, but we are so making progress, and it's been years in the making. So I'm in it for the long game. Just stay in it for the long game. It's not going to be easy. And your only responsibility is to show up differently. You got to forgive yourself, period. Even if they aren't ready to, that's got to be okay with you.
That part. Because parents, as much as you want to, you can't fix your child. You can't protect them from everything, nor should you. They need to fall. They need to have Mistakes made. We've said that before. But you can fix the dynamics of the relationship prior to disconnect. Once the disconnect happens, because I know that we have a viewer in the live audience who has a disconnect. Actually, several of you guys already have disconnects that you don't understand. You want it to end. You want to reconnect, and you want to be able to fix it. You want that feeling that you once had with the others,
Yeah.
especially with it being family. If you have tried, if you have reached out, and the hand is not taken, don't own that. And that's going to answer Bubble Kitten's question direct. How do I get out of the mindset that causes a cycle of anger and resentment when it comes to my cousin and her kids? Don't own it. It's not yours to own. You can be angry with them all you want. How's that working for you?
And remember, your anger and resentment is telling you that your boundaries have been crossed and your needs are not being met.
Right.
Your anger means that they're doing it. There's some sort of intentionality and disregard for you, lack of consideration for you. So that's where you need to address internally.
Right.
And then remind yourself to set harder boundaries or to maintain boundaries, to speak your truth, to speak your needs. If there aren't boundaries or whatever, if you didn't speak any of that stuff to them in a way that is direct and clear, maybe you spoke in a dysregulated state, which does not get the message across. So unless you've done that very truth, relevance, kindness, straight to the point, facts, direct, polite, respectful, and they're blatantly disrespecting those lines, that righteous anger is telling you this isn't aligned.
That part.
Pause, step back, breathe, and take ownership of my part, right, and leave the rest. You could take ownership for yourself, for your part. I don't know what the dynamics are. Each situation is very unique, Bubble Kitten. So next time you have a session with your go-to person, talk about that in more detail so you can get a specific direction. Because
Right.
that depends on the dynamic and the circumstances of each individual situation. So generally speaking, it's an inside job. Make sure you understand what it is that your anger and resentment is telling you, and make sure you know where they're coming from and what that dynamic is. I have to fight for the camera with Marie.
I noticed that. I noticed that she was trying to tell us what time it was.
Oh, crap. Thank you, Marie. Yes. Thank you. She's politely telling me she's got to go potty. Again.
Oh, where? Yeah. And, Karen, I know that your son feels like he still needs to protect you. Thank him for that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to push that away. 6 of coins on that one, okay? Accept the gift of somebody wanting to care for you.
Yeah.
The way that you care for them. That's part of how you fix a relationship. And anybody who entered this particular podcast with, what magic wand are we going to be able to wave to fix any relationship that we have that feels broken?
Mm-hmm.
There isn't one. I'm sorry. I hope that didn't let you down. But it is a matter of alignment, accountability, communication, integrity, compassion. Did I say that twice? I don't care.
It doesn't matter. And it all starts with that honesty and authenticity. If you don't feel safe enough to do so, there's a reason for that. That's your discernment.
Right. And if something is said by you or another, but since you're listening, if somebody says something that you don't understand, ask for clarity before you get upset. If you don't have a moment, give yourself the benefit of taking a pause, taking a breath, like we've talked about, and realize until I know otherwise, I have nothing to be upset about right now. Because if you didn't understand it, if it created some kind of disconnect, if it created some kind of questioning in your mind and your gut instinct, you have the option of getting upset immediately when you don't know the whole story and you feel like you don't know the whole story and that something got left out. Well, don't get upset then. It's not worth your energy. It's not worth the cortisol toxins.
No, it's not.
Find out, have the conversation. Be messy. Be messy. Because sometimes the cleanup is the most fun.
And I know we might run us slightly over, but I just want to address Michelle. When you're badmouthed and your name is strewn through the mud and lies are told about you and all that stuff, there is nothing that you can do about what is happening and what the kids hear. You can't help any of that, but what you can do is show up as a healthy person, a healthier person than you used to show up, and speak your truth and add context and clarity, and then also challenge your kids in a very loving way, simply by stating, I understand that's what your father told you, but this is my experience. And that's okay.
Yeah. If the opportunity is given.
Right. Right. I had that happen with my daughter when I went to go visit her, because she was angry with me about something and me refusing something, and her dad told her X, Y, and Z. And I heard that and I said, your dad can say whatever he wants to say. This was my experience with your dad. And this is what he told me, which is what led to my no. Do what you will with that information. That's my reality. And it completely diffused the entire thing. And I think it helped her release a little something too, because knowing me and how I've grown and what I am, and her dad is still the same. Her dad is still toxic as fuck. There's another dollar. Like, it makes sense. The context made sense. And it was a little less painful for her. That's all you can do. Kids are tough. That's the most challenging relationship we have. But the more compassion we give ourselves as parents, the more compassion we have for our own parents. Not that we have to be friends with them or communicate with them, but that compassion helps our heart heal. It's for us.
Yep.
Whew.
And hopefully one day there will be that reconnect for you and your daughter, Michelle. I know that that's got to be heart-wrenching. I've been through it. Granted, they weren't blood, but I know exactly how that can feel and how other people's opinions can change how people view you. I've had friends do it. I've done it to people. Did I intend to? No. But if there are friends that you have, if another partner, an ex-partner, has been talking to mutual friends, and all of a sudden those mutual friends vanish along with the partner, even though you had a friendship with them when you were together, but now it's no more. Well, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just showed me how authentic our relationship actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Bless the mess. Grab the broom. Grab the dustpan. Sweep it up. Grab the mop. Clean it up. If it can't be fixed, throw it away.
Throw it away. That doesn't trash everything, because a lot of people don't want to lose certain aspects. That's always going to be here. You can tap into that emotional energy at any
Right.
time. That love is always there. Like, I don't unlove you. I just don't want you in my space. And you don't get access to me. You lose all access. That's all.
Right. And again, sorry to hear all of that, Michelle.
I feel it deeply. I mean, it's part of our experience. I think my parents feel it because they lost access to me, and it probably makes them feel horrifying. You know, I can imagine anyway, because I know that there's love, but it's just oof. You can
Right.
keep your kind of love way over there.
But if you haven't reached that point, that's what the point of this episode is. So
Mhm.
that you don't reach that point.
Right.
Because if you both truly want the bonds to remain, you
Mhm.
both work on it. Because you really aren't that broken. It's a state of mind anyway.
Right. Right. We just need to open the door to repair and show up differently, because we're not going to repair if we show up the same.
Right. Exactly.
Whew.
There are so many different branches that we had to tiptoe around because we wanted to stay on topic with this as much as we could. Please don't take offense if we didn't address directly some of the issues that were brought up, especially in chat. It's not that we're ignoring you. We will talk about more because we ain't done yet.
Yeah.
We're done tonight, but we're not done yet. In fact, in 2 weeks' time, unless we have to skip an episode, but in 2 episodes, well, I'll put it that way. That way I don't jinx it. But in 2 episodes, we will be celebrating Phoenix Talks 100. And there is a song already ready for it. It's called A Phoenix Rises. I'm not playing it until that night, but it is available to listen over on my Suno under Brindlewolf if you would like to get a sneak peek of that song. It is amazing, and I will have a video for that. But a shout out to everybody over listening and downloading from Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast. If you like what you hear and you would like to continue to listen to the 2-hour shows on Rise Awakenings and would love to support us, we would love to have you. Please go over to embersoflight.net. I'm going to throw up the QR code really quick so that you'll be able to scan it when you watch this. Should be in the description below for YouTube, and we're hoping also to get it over on the Spotify account as well. So embersoflight.net. It's free to join the website and take a look around. But if you'd like to support us and help us to be able to continue, we would be ever grateful for it. There's some great merchandise over there too that Lunaria has designed. So I'm really excited about that. We got more coming. We really do. We have so much more coming. We have a new show starting on May 10th with Amanda over on Rise Radio, Mystic Mist. That's going to be on Sundays at 4 p.m. We have Michael with Defining Your Character on Saturdays. We're hopefully kicking that off this week. We've had some technical issues that has prevented him from being able to start that. But hopefully this Saturday, he will have everything up and running so that we can kick that off at 6 p.m. We got Lunaria on Friday with Illuminate at 11 a.m. And then the Oracle's going to be back tomorrow morning.
Yes. Yes, the core. Oh, and Mondays, the bloom is going to be about trust.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I like that.
I know, right? It's going to be a weird one, but not weird.
Trust. But you guys have an amazing rest of your night. Don't forget, over on Rise Radio on Zeno.fm at 9 p.m., Will has moved his shows from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. just because the 8 p.m. was too difficult with family life. So in order for him to continue the show and be able to do it consistently, we're moving to 9 p.m. on Zeno.fm for Honky Tonk Heaven. And that's coming up right after our show tonight. So you guys have an amazing rest of your evening. Love yourselves. Please.
Sorry, Marie.
Love yourselves. Love each other. Fix what's not broken. Keep going. Keep glowing. Keep growing.
Keep rising.
And we will see you next
We'll
week.
see you in the morning. Well, we'll see you next week.
The two of us will see you next week. The three of us will see you tomorrow. For another episode of Can't Make This Shit Up.
Mwah.
Bye.
Belief in one becomes a problem in two. Avoiding conversation, thinking they're through. Avoiding dynamics, not saying a word. Carrying the weight of what isn't heard. Losing hope, don't know how to cope. Thoughts at play, do we walk away? But the heart cries. Are we really that broken? Are we that unfixable? Can we get back? Doesn't feel stable. Neither wants to bend the ties we can mend. It doesn't have to end. How do we fix it? Actions and words reveal hidden parts, uncovering the past, exposing unhealed hearts. Roadblocks go up, barriers are built, wanting repair, riddled with guilt. Was it me? The heart wants to know. Was it them, or do they have to go? Are we really that broken? Are we that unfixable? Can we get back? Doesn't feel stable. Neither wants to bend the ties we can mend. It doesn't have to end. How do we fix it? Nervous in the heart, words begin to fly. What can we do better? Should we even try? We can get through this, work this thing through, but we have to talk to repair me and you, and we'll see. We really aren't that broken. No, we're not. We are fixable. We always were. We can get back if we want. We can get stable if we try. Both can bend, meet in the middle. Ties can mend. Give it time. This doesn't have to end. No, it doesn't. We can fix it. So we slow it down, speak it out, brighten up the dark. No more guessing if we stay right here, face what we fear. That's where healing starts. We don't have to know it all tonight. Just listen make it, one step at a time.
It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Hey, this is Brindlewolf.
And I'm Lunaria.
You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awakening life. Rise awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.